Hello, hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. It is new block day for the Splendid Sampler. Thanks, replay viewers, for watching, and thanks, YouTube viewers, for watching as well. YouTube viewers, if you'd like to watch live and join in the chat, you can join me on Periscope. I'm here every night at 9:30 p.m. Central. Just do a search for Penguin and Fish, and it's all good from there. All right, guys, I'm going to flip you around and we'll get going for the night. Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming in tonight. We are starting a new quilt block. Here we go. It's a cute little pinwheel called, I think it's called, it's hard to read. Twirl Time. Twirl Time, a little cute little pinwheel block. I got my fabrics picked out for it. We're working on the Splendid Sampler quilt along quilt blocks. You can find out more information at thesplendidsampler.com. They have a huge Facebook page. There's about 20,000 people making this quilt. All right, guys. So it's just so neat to see everyone's different take on everything. So we get new blocks on Thursday and Sunday, and it's new block day today. We are on block 46 out of 100. So we're reaching the halfway point. We're approaching it awfully quickly, guys. It'll be, okay, so Sunday will be 47. So in 2 weeks, we'll be halfway done with this whole project. Isn't that nuts? All right, guys, if you're new, my name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery patterns and kits. I'm the author of Sew and Stitch Embroidery and a fabric designer, and I'm here every night at 9:30 p.m. Central, where we relax and craft and make stuff and chit-chat, and we've been working through the Splendid Sampler quilt along lately. So, all right, guys, I'm going to flip you around, and we'll get going. Okay, so here are my fabrics and my plan here. So, all right, there's several different fabrics. So we got A, B, C, D, and E, and these are going to be my A and B's. So these two are going to be the pinwheel, like the dark part and the light part of the pinwheel right here, A and B. C, I'm going to do this little bit here. So this is you're only going to see like a little fragment of that, little triangles of that C, this, and then this E, this outer part, is going to be this fabric here. We used this on the squirrel last night, and I'm hoping to use up some of those scraps that we made. And then the final little corner is going to be this fabric here. So the effect that we should get, should be a dark, because I'm making these with that dark fabric. Let's see. We should get like a light pinwheel against the dark pinwheel, and it's got these extra little like phalanges on the pinwheel. So we're gonna get something a little bit more like this when we're done. So you'll see that pinwheel, but we'll have like these funny little bits coming off the pinwheel as well. So that's what ours is going to look like here. So today we're going to get going with a pile of cutting. That's usually how we start these pieced blocks. So let's take a look at this. All right, we got fabric A, B, C, D, and several different E's here. So all right, let's just go in order. Well, let's just see. So it looks like several of the pieces are using the same amount. So here's a 2" by 3.5, 2" by 3.5, and this one's 2" by 3.5. Oh, you're paper piecing this. Yeah, I suppose, we kind of have so we have a little bit of a chart here for paper piecing. It's not all lettered and numbered for paper piecing, but I suppose if you wanted to paper piece it, it looks like it's divided, there's 4 quadrants that are sort of the same, so this repeated 4 times. I'd go 1, 2, and probably 3, 4, 5. I would do those pieces separate, and then I would put these 2 pieces together. Would be how I would, or this would be like 1A, 2A, and then this would be like 1B, 2B, and 3B. And then you'd sew A to B, and then you'd make 4 of those. So that's kind of how I would approach this if you wanted to paper piece it instead, which would be a great idea. It's so, paper piecing is so nice to get all perfect angles and everything to line up. So that would totally be an option here for you. But we're going to try the piecing method. Let's see, we haven't done a pieced thing in a little bit. So, all right, 2 by 3.5, 2 by 3.5, 2 by 3.5. So there's several that have it. Oh, you found me on YouTube. Oh, yay, I'm so happy that you got to join in live. Feel free to chit-chat and ask any questions you want. All right, so I'm going to stack up a bunch of these. I think maybe I'll do these, and then I'll do this guy separate, even though that's the same size. And I have kind of a, mainly because this one is fabric E, and that's the one that I have a bunch of weird scraps for, so I think I'll probably treat that one on its own. So let's stack, though, this fabric A and B to get these 2 each of the 2 by 3.5 inch things. So, all right, this would be as if I could cross cut a 2-inch by 7-inch piece, or I could, and then we cut it in half, or I could do a 4-inch by 3.5-inch piece and cut it in half this way. We'll kind of see what we got for fabric here first. All right, so A and B, aren't these cute together? I think this is going to be just really sweet. I like these greens. All right, 2.5 by 3.5 inches. Let's see what that looks like, and let's see what I got for fabric here yet. This fabric's getting a little choppy on all the edges. It might be time to cut a nice new edge. Let's see. All right, what do we got for this one here? I'm just seeing what I have for fabric here, because I've used this all in the Splendid Sampler so far, and I'm going to want to iron and starch this, especially since this is kind of a gauzy fabric. It's been a little difficult to work with, actually, with all my heavier quilting weight fabric. No, neither of these is my fabric. I don't think I'm using any fabric of mine in this block. All my fabric is, in general, very cutesy, and I was veering away from a cute quilt, so I'm actually not using too much of my fabric. This is by Mona Luna, though, from a couple seasons ago, maybe, or 2 seasons ago. It's beautiful. It's got this shiny gold on it, and I think it's organic as well. And it's gauzy, so it's gonna drape a little bit nicer, I think, than quilting weight cotton. All right, so I'm thinking we go the 2-inch by 7-inch route, because I got kind of this. Well, you know what? I wonder if this is 4 inches wide. Let's measure that first. If this is 4 inches, oh yeah, this is 4 inches. So why don't we do 4 inches by the 3.5, and it'll be a kind of thing here. Oh, yay, I'm happy you like my new line. Yep, it's the little safari animals. That was actually very similar to my first line, and people really liked that first line, so we're doing like a little redux on it. All right, I'm just gonna, we actually don't really need that much. I'm just cutting out like a square this big, and then we're gonna cross cut it. So I'm just gonna starch and press this corner here, and starch and press this corner, and we'll get going from there. I really like these two together. I don't think we've used these two together as like the main two before. All right, I'm going to use, for starch, so I'm going to use this flatter again. However, I've mixed, my line of fabric. You can buy fat quarter bundles at my site, Penguinandfish, but the new fabric isn't out until November. So you'll have to keep an eye out at your local store. But if you request it from your local store, now is the time for stores to order it. So if you put in the good word to your store, then hopefully they'll order it. But you can find out more, if you go to Clothworks and then to the designers area, I'm in there, and then you can see what's available in stores. But all right, so I had this fig flatter that I had been using, but I've mixed it with Best Press now. This Mary Ellen's Best Press has been, it's working way better as a starch. Like it really stiffens up the fabric, and we need it for this one, this gauzy one. And it's going to be nice for all these tiny pieces that we're going to cut. So this is about 80% Best Press and 20% of this fig. So I emptied out some of this into here, and then I filled this half and half. So this is strong, medium, and then I have this other flatter that doesn't have any Best Press in. So this is the least strong of the starch right now. So I thought we'd try the middle one, the middle mixture. Haven't used this one yet since I've mixed it with Best Press. And I like this spray bottle a little bit better, and that's kind of why I'm doing it. My mom actually likes the Best Press spray bottle, but I think it just shoots out too much starch. My iron's getting really crazy from it, and it stains some of my other stuff just because it pooled up wet. I think I just had to go back farther, but this has like a finer mist, so I'm gonna try this tonight. Alright. Sizzle! I like the flatter though, it smells really good. And you know what? I was unsure. I had never tried this Celebration flavor of flatter before, but it smells so nice. I was thinking it'd be too flowery and too sweet, and I don't really like all those girly scents all the time, but it's not. It's really subtle and just pretty. I'm really actually happy I got it. All right, and I was gonna cut this corner here. Oh, your phone's acting crazy. That's no fun. Spraying this corner. All right. So we need to cut. Oh, we need to cut two. Oh, wait. Yeah, I knew that already. So we're going to cut a 4-inch by 3.5-inch rectangle, and then we're going to cross cut it. Ugh, the new phone. It's awesome getting new phones, but it's the worst. Like, to have to set it all up and make sure all your contacts are right and all that. It's not fun. This fabric, I know, isn't this so pretty? This is oh, we flipped. This is that fabric from the collection. I bought a fat quarter collection of this, and this is the other colorway, the darker colorway, one of the other colorways. But I had bought a fat quarter bundle of this fabric. It's by Hoka, and I don't even know if they exist still. I don't know. I'm thinking they probably do. I haven't seen them in a while, but it's from 2010, and it sat on my shelf forever, and I didn't want to hurt my perfect, beautiful fabric fat quarter bundle, and then I finally decided that silly, I'm going to use this for the Splendid Sampler, then I'll know I'm using it for some big project, and I feel like I'm honoring the fabric by doing it in this big project, so that kind of makes me happy. Alright, so 4.5 inches by 3.5 inches. I'm going to just start by squaring up these pieces a bit. Looks good. Ooh, do we have I just want to check that I don't have any weird cuts in here, and there is a little bit of one. So I'm going to cut here. Oh, your phone. Yeah. No fun. Oh, you broke your other. Did you drop it or something? When my husband, we got new phones, and he dropped his about a week later and had to get a new one. He was not happy about that. dropped it. Boo! Alright, I am going to flip this around. And you know what, I think I'm going to have to move it, which I didn't really want to do. But it looks like it stayed together. Alright, we want a 4-inch piece by a 3.5-inch piece here. Maybe this is a weird way to do this cutting, but oh well. This is how we're doing it. Wait, this isn't right. That's 4 inches by 4 inches. We need 4 inches by 3.5. Okay, there we go. Thanks! I'm really liking these colors too. Like I was saying, I don't think I've used these colors, these two fabrics together as like the, you know, as the friend, the main two fabrics before. So it's kind of, the moment I put them together, I'm like, oh, this feels new and different. I haven't done this yet. At least I don't think. I don't know. We've done a lot of blacks. We're on black 46, so maybe we've done it already. So all right, I'm gonna cut this in half 2 inches. I have a funny feeling I cut this out funny. Oh, that's the 3.5-inch side. Okay. Whew, scared me. Now we got our 2 inches. All right, so 2 inches by 3.5. Great. So we needed 2 of those. I'm just gonna double check. Yep, 3.5. I get nervous about all this cutting. So all right, these are gonna be like our little pinwheel colors. So I think that'll look pretty cute. I'm excited about these. Actually, how does this go together? It'd be like this. There, kind of like that. Yeah, just like this actually. And then we cut off one direction or another. There, like this. There we go. We trim towards there. But anyway, that's later. So all right, we got 2 pieces cut. The cutting always takes a long time, but once we're done cutting, then it goes pretty quickly. So all right, moving these pieces out of the way. I like checking them off when I'm done. So we are done with these 2 rectangles, and I think that means we're done with fabric A and fabric B. Yeah, you know what? Cutting, I do gotta say it's my least favorite part too. I just get nervous about cutting into the fabric, and am I using the most economical way of cutting? Oh, look at my hand. I roasted a bunch of beets today. So I have beet colored fingers today. I just gotta notice that now. That looks crazy. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of cutting, and it's dangerous. I mean, these puppies, you know, they'll send you to the hospital for sure if you cut into your finger or something. So I mean, yeah, most nerve-wracking part for me is definitely the cutting. You know, that's why I like paper piecing, is that I can just avoid all of that, cut my blobs and sew it together, and it ends up perfect. Is it really straight is always my question. Oh, yeah, you know what? I'm with you there. Yeah, not my favorite thing. All right, 4 squares. Let's do these ones, because they're all the same. So we got 4 2.5-inch, 2.5-inch, or not 2.5 inches. 2 inches by 2 inches, 2 inches by 2 inches. Oh, really? Okay, you have to tell me what you love about the cutting, because I need a new perspective. Oh, you cut your fingernail before. Oh, gosh. See, I'm always so scared about all that. Luckily, in school, I used an X-Acto blade a lot, which was this way, but I got real good at keeping my fingers out of the way, but it always still scares me. All right, so we need 4 of each of these. So ideally, it might be nice to cut a 2-inch strip by like 8 inches. And then we can cross cut. So I'm gonna layer these 3 fabrics together and do that. So we got fabric C, D, and E. So C is my little kitty cats. D is this corner fabric. Oh, and E is this one here that I have all the little bits for. You know what? I think again I'm gonna cut this last just because I want to use up some of these scraps. You know what? We're gonna use these scraps for some other project too. Maybe I'll just dive in and cut this. If this is 8 inches, then we'll use this as my 8-inch thing. It's just about perfect. Great, fine. I'm gonna just cut my 2 inches from here and be done with it. I'll worry about these scraps. I still have to cut some of these from the scraps, so I'll hold off and do that. But for this 2-inch where I'm cross-cutting, I'll use this. So let's spray start some of these. Oh, let's check out what we got for bits here though first. Gotta assess my fabric. I haven't used this fabric in a while, so there's not really a good 8-inch area. I got a pretty decent square going, so I'll just have to trim. I think we'll go like this. Oh, we flipped. All right, well, I'm gonna flip up in a second here. I suppose we can do that now. Dang thing keeps wanting to flip. It doesn't like being in horizontal, and I think whenever I get close to the camera, it has a hard time focusing, so it's just trying to adjust. Okay, here's a good area. Oh, I got selvage on there, so we'll lay this on the bottom. This is a good for a 2-inch strip there. So let's spray starch all these guys. I think I'm actually going to go put them in reverse order here, so this will work out great. Okay, that's got to get out of the way. Okay. First up, oops, sorry, I bumped your face. Little Kit Kats. All right, here we go. This fabric's relatively new. I think this is just starting to ship to stores too. This fabric is by Sharon Holland Designs, and it's for Art Gallery Fabrics. And I believe it's probably, I don't know, it's probably just shipping to stores. Or will be this fall. So these kitties might not even be available yet. But it's Sharon Holland Designs, and it's her tapestry. I believe is the line. I cut off the selvage, I think, so I can't read it anymore. I know, isn't it adorable? This is the only fabric that I've added to my Splendid Sampler blocks since I started. I mean, I picked my fat quarters before I started, but this is the only fabric that I've added. It was just the right color for the colors that I was going for, and it was kitties, and I couldn't believe I didn't have a kitty fabric in my collection here. So it was meant to be that I have these kitties. So I'm so happy to be using them, and Sharon's awesome. All right, let's lay that one down, and then this one more. This one's almost, I think it's about 8.5 inches, so that's gonna be perfect for our just trimming 8 inches. Each one of these fabrics, we need 4 2-inch by 2-inch squares, so that's why I'm doing just an 8-inch strip, and then I'm gonna cross cut it. I'll probably actually do a little bit bigger than 8-inch just to play it safe. All right. Back down here, let's line these up. So this kitty fabric has the selvage on here. You know, you can see all these little dots. So we're going to want to cut that off. So I'm definitely going to trim a straight edge here. And when we do that, we'll cut off that kitty selvage. Let's just flatten the fabric out here a little bit. Okay. I think these 3 fabrics look really fun together. All right, let's trim this. So I'm just going to give it a nice straight edge through all 3 of these fabrics. And I know that this one, oops, I moved them. This one on top is about 8 inches, so I know that I just have to go about that. But I think I'm going to go a little further just to cut the rest of this selvage off of the kitties. Flip. Alrighty. Let me cut this. I have a hard time talking and cutting, so alright, I'll flip you guys up again. Oh, that dirty ironing board. I'll have to take care of that soon, too. Have you ever dinged your template with the cutter? Like, dinged my ruler? I have, and actually there's been a suggestion that I, sometimes when I cut this way, like around an edge, you know, it's been suggested that, you know, when I'm cutting around an edge like this, to not go from here up, to go from here down, because every time I go this way in, I, in theory, nick the edge of my blade. So by going this way, you know, like if I'm cutting out a square, like how I did earlier, I went this and then this. Oh yeah, so I know I wasn't doing that right. So I knew it when I was doing it that I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be practicing going from this direction. It's just so awkward for me yet to go this direction. I need to practice. Next time I'll do it that way for sure, because I do need practice. It just feels so awkward in my hand. But I do need practice doing it that way. Because yeah, I can tell that I need to switch my blade again. There's like one little bit. You started doing it that way too? Okay, cool. That's good to hear. Yeah, when I forget who mentioned it originally, but when they said it, I'm like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. That could be why my blade keeps needing to be changed. Well, you know, blades need to be changed, but still. All right, here's 2 inches. I'm just gonna go to the end of this fabric, and you know what? I'm gonna just grab a scissors and snip. This edge doesn't have to be perfect. That was weird. I don't think I've ever done that. Grab the scissors instead of just using my rotary cutter for that, but whatever. All right. Let's cross cut these guys. I like when I get rid of big chunks of fabric. It's not on my table anymore. I feel like I've accomplished something with the cutting then. All right, let's cross cut these guys. This one feels a little funny down here. Oh, I just have a bunch of threads. All right. I'm going to get a nice edge over here first, and then I'll flip it around and cross cut my 2-inch squares. All right. I feel like whenever we cut squares, that means we're going to have some half-square triangles in the works these days with all these blocks. I'll have to pay attention to my scant quarters again and sewing straight and all that fun stuff. Haven't had to do that for a little while with all these, with the applique blocks and the embroidery blocks. This color, I know, isn't it pretty? It's like such a rich, pretty purple, deep purple. All right, this is the last one. Teeny bit of an edge left there. All right, so let's see, we got 4 pieces of this. This is E. And then for, oh, how do you find my designs for fabric? If you want to see everything that's available, you can go to clothworks.com. That's my manufacturer. So clothworks.com, and then in the upper bar there's designers, and then if you scroll down to Alyssa Thomas and click that, you'll see all, yep, Clothworks, just like that. All one word though. and then .com, and then you'll see under designers, and then my picture with Alyssa Thomas of Penguin and Fish, I think is what it says. Then underneath there, you can see what's available. So stores should have at least some version of that. And you know what? I think I really need to put together a list of old collections. If you go to my blog on the sidebar, I do have a list of past collections and stuff too, if you just want to see. But I have to check links and stuff for that. Right now, all I have available in the shop, because we just had a fabric sale, and I sold out of all the older collections, and so now it's just my newest collection, besides the one that's not out yet. So that's Serengeti Beasties, so that's available in my shop at Penguin and Fish. But otherwise, you can just do a Google search, really, for Penguin and Fish, fabric, cloth works, Alyssa Thomas, like any combination of those words, and you'll find a few of my collections out there. I think I'm like working on my 10th or 11th collection now. I should count those. Count them again. All right, we're good here. All right, and then these are our other pieces. So what do we have left? Let's check it off. I know we're missing something yet. Okay, we did the. Whoop, I'm tangled. We did the 4 squares of fabric C. That was the kitties. 4 squares of D. That was that kind of funny dark webbing one. And we did the 4 squares of fabric E. So those are right here, I'm guessing. And now we just need these big pieces. So we need 4 rectangles that are the 2 by 3.5, and I'm gonna try and cut them out of these scraps that I have. Let's just stack things up. So, all right, it's this fabric. So I do have these kind of little scraps. So we need 2 inches by 3.5 inches. How big is this? So we're gonna just putz around with some of this cutting. Let's do this first. All right, so this is 4 inches. So I think we can probably get it all out of here. Oh wait, no, 3.5. So 3.5 is there. So we're not gonna have enough. Because we would need 7 inches for this to work. So all right, we can get some of it. Oh, early morning. Oh, thanks so much for joining me here tonight. Yeah, for sure. I'm so happy that you were able to come in. But yeah, have a nice night. All right, I'm going to square this up, and we will cut some of it out of here. I think we can get like 3 out of here. So let me just figure this out again. 2 inches by 3.5 inches. Let's just square it up first. How about that? All right, I'm going to try cutting that other direction now. It's really awkward. Oof, yeah, that's going to have to take some practice. But I see the benefit of it. It's just going to have to take some practice. It feels funny. All right, let's cross-cut this to 3.5 inches. And then I'll cut at least 2 pieces out of here. Where's the little half marker? All right, 3.5. Oh, it'll be nice when we get all this cutting done. I do like the aspect of cutting where we get rid of our fabrics. Like, it just, the fabrics start to disappear and stuff, and that's nice. I like that. You only need to cut backwards about 1/2 inch. Oh, then go forward. Oh, okay. I'll give that a try. I like that idea. All right, so where are we at again? 2 inches. So this is 3.5 inches, right? Yeah. All right, so now we need couple 2-inch pieces out of here. I'll be able to get 2 out of this. And then we need to find 2 more pieces like this somewhere. Isn't this pretty? With this whole bit as the main area, that's going to be cute. However it's cut in the thing, in the block. Or however it's laid out, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's just neat because, you know, this is going to be part of the block, you know, with a triangle or something, and this is too, and like this is going to end up being light purple, and this will be dark purple, but it's from the same fabric. I think it's just so fun. All right, we need 2 more of these pieces, and then we'll be done. So I think we can for sure get one out of here. We'll get a 2" by 3.5" piece out of here. Just cutting the 2", and then we'll cross cut. So I'll have a little bit of scrap left of this guy yet. But we've been easily using up our scraps during this process, I think. All right, it's kind of hard to see. I'm gonna actually turn it around because the dark fabric is hard to see on my ruler. Easier to see with the light parts. Okay. No, I didn't spray this stuff, so I'm hoping we'll be all right without these being starched. All right, now let's get a 3.5 out of here. Okay. Now it looks like I might have cut this piece a little funny, but I think it's going to work still. Alright, we still need 1 more piece like that. So let's see if we can use this other scrap. You know what, it actually might be better. This looks actually like a smaller, yeah, this is a smaller piece. I'm going to get it out of here. This one needs a little ironing though. I'm going to just quickly iron it. I'm not going to spray it though because I didn't spray the other one, so we'll just see how it goes. And frankly, I've probably sprayed this fabric before, so I'm sure it's probably fine. Let's just give it a straight edge quick. And then I will cut a 2" piece from here. I'm just going to flip it. And then we'll cross cut to that 3.5, and then we'll be done. Done with the cutting. All right, don't need that. Ooh, look, our piece is getting smaller and smaller. Aww. But it's good. All right, let's give it a straight edge over here. Probably a little overkill, that straight edge. It was pretty straight already, it seemed. And then 3.5 inches. There we go. This is such a pretty scrap. I will definitely use that in a block somewhere still. All right, we got all the pieces here, and I think we still have time to do some sewing yet, I think. So let's just get all these out again and see what the, see what the directions have to say next. All right. So cutting is done. That's awesome. Not a fan of cutting. All right, draw a diagonal line in the back of each, you guys can't see, of each 2" square. So we're going to be drawing lines on the backs of all of these squares, and that's so we can do the sewing along the line, make it easier. So let's just read ahead. Place a 2" square D. Oh, we're starting way at the upper corner. So D on left side of a 2" by 3.5" rectangle E, So these are our dark fabrics. Note the direction of the diagonal line. Sew on the drawn line, trim 1/4 inch from stitch and press open. Okay, sure. All right, we'll start there. I think I am gonna draw on all the backs of these. I'm trying to work on sewing in a straight line. Before the Splendid Sampler, and if I wasn't trying to be so precise, but I mean with the Splendid Sampler, I've been trying to get better and be a lot more precise. And they're small blocks, so it's been good to be more precise. So I am actually going to draw the line here. Normally I would have just started sewing and kind of aimed for down here, but I'm going for a little bit more accuracy than that. So, all right, these are our 2-inch squares. So let's get a ruler. I'm going to just get the smaller one out here. And let's just draw lines on the back of all of them. So we're going to, this is the line that we're going to sew on. So this is going to make it a lot easier. Not sure I'll be able to see this pencil line on the darker. Yeah, I can see it. That's good. I can see it just enough. Otherwise, I have a water-soluble marker that I might be able to see it a little bit better. So it is moving around a little bit, but it's just going to be a nice guide. So we'll be fine. All this prep work. Should do some, so the flowers are on the side. Or they might get cut off, who knows. We'll use them in another project. Or not another project, another block. Oof, that line got drawn all over the place. All right, those ones are done. Let's see if I can see a line on these. This is just all these little steps are gonna make it easier. Wow, I cannot hold this down. Yeah, I can still see it. Good. I was a little nervous I wouldn't be able to see the lines on these really dark ones. All right, halfway done. We will get some sewing out of this tonight. The real sewing will happen tomorrow. I think we'll get very far tomorrow. This block actually isn't all that difficult. It looks really intricate, but it's not, especially if we get some sewing done tonight. I think it's going to be just real nice. So I don't know, maybe we'll even finish it tomorrow. That's maybe a long shot, but maybe not. I don't know. But that would be kind of awesome. Oh, jeez, come on. You know what? I'm going to do it this way because I got these little rubber feet on these, and it's kind of giving me an air gap a little bit. Oh, yeah, wow. That works a million times better. All right, should have done that from the start. All right, these ones we'll be able to see just fine. These lines. I'm just kind of randomly doing this. Oops, I'm not worrying too much what's going to be on either side of these. I mean, it is an opportunity to fussy cut a little bit, I suppose. I'm not going to worry about it. Even with these little kitties, there'll be an eye popping out here or there, maybe. And it's mostly about the colors of these fabrics for this block. All right, there we go, guys. We're working on the Splendid Sampler quilt along. You can find out more info at thesplendidsampler.com. So, all right, guys, we are on to here. I use a self-stick cheap vinyl tile. Oh, well, that's interesting. So, all right. That's a good idea. So, let's see. 2-inch square on the left side of a rectangle E. So, the D's, here are the D's. And here are the E's. So, we're putting a D on the left side, and it has to angle in this upward direction here, our line. So I'm just gonna set them on top of each other here, and then we'll start sewing. Oops, right sides together. Whew, that must mean I'm getting tired. So we'll probably sew these 4 guys and then probably call it a night. Maybe I'll press them open too. That'd be good. Nice to have that done. I'm gonna do it this way. So I'm angling that pencil line up this direction. So for this, we get to sew right on the line, which is nice. We don't have to, sometimes when we do half square triangles, we got to go on either side. Does this work with left-handed scissors? You should be able to do all of these blocks with scissors if you don't have a rotary cutter. All right, so let's sew these. So to the machine. Oh, I actually have to thread the machine here. Oh, is that one? Oh, yep, okay. You are right. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm getting tired. That's why I need you guys here for sure. I totally didn't do right sides together there. Good catch, people. Brain's turning off. Sheesh, that would have been unpleasant. There we go. Now we're good. Arg. All right, so I need to thread this quick. I like the way the fabric conforms, yeah. I think it's going to be pretty when it's together. So, all right, I'm going to just thread my machine quick. We had taken off the thread last night so we could make our yo-yo. We made that fun little yo-yo last night for the squirrel block. I had never made a yo-yo before, so that was kind of fun and silly and cute. All right, there we go. All right, ready to start. I'm gonna just start with my leader here. Okay. You can sew by hand with a needle and thread if you like. I know some people on this that are making the Splendid Sampler blocks are doing that all by hand. All right. Let me get my stiletto out here. And I'm just going to sew right on that line. We actually haven't done that in a while. Usually we've been sewing on either side of the line to make a bunch of half square triangles, so this is kind of refreshing just to stitch right on a line. All right, let's do the next part. And I'm sewing from the middle out instead of this way from the corner, because when I sew this way, my machine wants to push the corner down into the machine, and I can put a little piece of paper there, and that will help. But sewing in this direction kind of takes care of my problem. So I'm attempting to do this direction when I can. Right. 2 more. I'm concentrating on stitching right on that line. I've been having trouble stitching straight lines, apparently, which is just so funny still, I think, on the Splendid Sampler. And so I've been really focusing on straighter lines. I mean, this time I just have to follow the line, but I still find myself getting really quiet and concentrating. It kind of makes me laugh myself. All right, and let's get this ender in motion here. All right. Scissors, here you are. All right, let's trim these all out. All right, so I'm going to press these open. I'm going to press these open, and then I will trim off this extra triangle. And I'm going to press them open first. This was a suggestion from my mom, because you know, normally you would trim this, so you'd cut this off, and then you'd press it open. But by pressing it open first, I can use this corner as a guide of where this corner should end up, so I can kind of get it up in that corner and then press it. So that's why I'm going to press first. I'm like, oh, that's a great suggestion from my mom. All right, so I'm going to kind of finger press, get it started towards that corner. Then give it a press. I think the iron fell asleep on me a little bit here. All right, that's one. I'm just giving it a little press first to set the scene. This is that pretty purple one. I like this. I think it's subtle, but you can definitely see the pattern change, but the colors are pretty close, which I think is kind of interesting. It'll still give us that dark background feel, but we'll still be able to subtly see the pattern of the design of the block. I think we'll trim these. I've got one more to press, but I think we'll trim these and probably call it an evening. And I think honestly, I think we're going to get really far on this tomorrow. There's not actually really much more to do. So an intricate looking block, but relatively quick and easy. So I'm excited about that. So we'll get maybe even finished tomorrow. So tomorrow it'll be all sewing and pressing and sewing and pressing and sewing and pressing. All right. I'm not a huge, cutting, I'm not like a giant fan of the pressing, but I do, it's growing on me as part of the process. It's just one of those things that I have to accept that, oh yeah, that's part of the process. So now that I've got these pressed, now I'm going to trim this to about a 1/4 inch seam allowance. There we go. And then these will go in my little scrap pile. Yeah, because on some of these blocks, we had we have to do this for 16 pieces or something, so it's kind of fun that it's just only these 4 pieces. It's fun to piece again. We haven't done this in a while. It feels very fresh to me. We've been in embroidery, and I think we had paper piece, then embroidery, then applique. Or actually, I think it was another applique too. So I think we did paper piece, then applique, then embroidery, then applique again. So it's been a little while for the piecing. So all right, there's the start. Let's kind of just, I like playing with layout, seeing if we can lay this out a little bit here. All right, then we have this will end up being one of our arched pieces. Let's get these in first. This will, I think I did something wrong here. Oh no, this goes here, and here. And we'll get these pieces underneath here. So we got the corners on the outside. And then all these guys, this will be, how will this work? Like this. Yeah, so this is one of these little extra little mini triangles, because when we fold this one, this will go, there we go, like that. So there we go. So now we're kind of getting that effect. So this is what we'll be doing tomorrow. We'll be putting these triangles on things. Let's see if I can hold down one more at the same time. Here, I know. We're just gonna set that scissors there. I'm just kind of excited. I like just playing with this little layout thing just to see what things are starting to look like. I get lost in turning these triangles until finally I got it. All right. So that's kind of the start. Yeah. So here you can see like these are these extra little flicks that come up, and then we'll get, you know, we're starting to see the pinwheel. But yeah, I mean, I think it really pops with this dark background. I'm excited to see it come together. So we will continue this tomorrow, guys. I'm gonna flip you around. Hey there, guys. That was a lot easier than it looked. So here's that one little piece that we did today. The really pretty piece with all the pretty purple and little animals and stuff in. So I think we'll get this done tomorrow, which is awesome. So that's Friday. Oh, then we just have Saturday. It's the Thursday to Sunday. That's our short block time period. We get an extra day in the Sunday to Thursdays. So we just have tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday to finish this. So I'm hoping we finish it tomorrow, and then we'll have a free day on Saturday. And there's at least 2 blocks that I have unfinished that I know I can finish in one day. So I'm pretty excited about that. So hopefully we'll get 2 blocks done by Sunday. And that'll be awesome. So thanks for coming in again tonight, guys. I will be here again tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. Central, and this will be on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies in the morning. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great rest of your week, and enjoy the weather. See you later.